It is hard to think of any human being less suited for the position of EU Foreign Minister than the current incumbent, Kaja Kallas, former Prime Minister of the minuscule state of Estonia, population 1.4 million. Eaten up as she is with a pathological obsessive hatred of Russia and all things Russian, she will not rest until she gets a full-scale war between NATO and Russia off the ground. Much like a boss, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, she's an unelected bureaucrat who, nonetheless, purports to speak on behalf of 450 million Europeans, almost none of whom shares either woman's outlook. The other day, Kallas essentially called for a war to the finish against Russia. At a news conference, she declared that more military support for Ukraine and more sanctions against Russia weren't enough. The problem was Russia itself. During the last 100 years, she explained, Russia has attacked more than 19 countries, some as many as 3 or 4 times. None of these countries has ever attacked Russia. Therefore, she went on, we have to make sure the Russians, quote, stop aggression for good. Kallas made no attempt to list those more than 19 countries. Whom did she have in mind? The numerous allies of Nazi Germany that had invaded the USSR in June 1941, Imperial Japan that had attacked Soviet territory throughout the 1930s, and on whom the USSR declared war in 1945 in agreement with the Allied powers. Perhaps Kallas thinks Hitler's Germany was the victim of an unprovoked Russian attack. This wasn't the first time Kallas revealed her bizarre take on history. In September, she declared her astonishment that at a recent ASEAN meeting, Russia had said, quote, we, Russia and China, won World War II. We defeated Nazism together. Kallas responded with a bemused, okay, this is something new. Then she lamented, many people believe in such narratives. Kallas's rewriting of World War II is not simply a product of ignorance. It is part of a deliberate strategy on the part of Western elites to cast Russia as a historic enemy that must be dealt with once and for all. Appointed to the position of foreign minister in December 2024, Kallas's first act was to rush to Kiev and to send out a tweet proclaiming, quote, the European Union wants Ukraine to win this war. From the start, she sought to make the EU and NATO parties to the Ukraine conflict. In May 2024, she spelled out what NATO's wartime objectives should be, the total collapse of Russia. Russia is made up of many different nations, she explained. Instead of Russia, you will have, quote, more like small nations. It's not a bad thing if a big power is much smaller. Following last February's disastrous Oval Office meeting between Presidents Trump and Zelensky, an enraged Kallas sent out a tweet declaring, quote, it is clear the free world needs a new leader. Europeans must take up this challenge. Kallas's mission is to provoke an all-out war with Russia. What's scary is that the EU knew this very well when it chose her as its foreign minister.